Hey guys, how's it going? tmanplays here with another Warno ranked game for you today. And haven't played the fifth blendee in a while, but we're gonna be playing it for today's game. Oddly enough, we actually came against Bly 9300, who's also playing the fifth, so bit of a mirror match here, but a good game nonetheless. But we're gonna start our deployment with all these little AMX 10RC Sir Blendes. Just spreading those across the flank. I'm kind of putting more resources over here as I wanted to go aggressive, try and capture these buildings, mainly go for a bit of defense in the middle, as we're only sending a Mistral, Grenadier Voltigeur, and a Milan 2 to these buildings. We can see he has a VBL Milan here, Super Puma also coming across the middle. We're going to get lucky here, actually snipe an AMX 10RC. See the Milan 2 coming at us, so we're going to smoke that guy off. We get hit by a counter AMX-10 there. Miss our shot, so gonna have to smoke that guy and pull back. Mistral though arrives just in time, gonna be able to get a shot off on that Puma. Does actually take it down, killing the commandos inside. Here I moved up my Serblinde, took out the VBL Milan, and then just pulled back as we saw a bunch of infantry coming down this avenue, which you would think would be good for these EBGs to deal with. EBGs having this really nice tank gun. Unfortunately, Napalm Bomber came, and I reversed my AMX into it. These EBGs now stacked together. Going to try and deal with some of this infantry that's here. Unfortunately, though, first shot does a lot of damage, instantly drops the cohesion to low. And they're not really faring too well against the infantry, as the other Voltigeur going to open up. The next one from the forest there ends up taking out one of the EBGs, so I'm just going to be forced to pull that back. I did retreat my Serblinde from the left-hand side, so that's going to be used to gradually take out some of these VABs that are moving across my line. The Mirage F1C here, trying to go in for our opponent's barrage. It's going to be missing a lot of missiles there, though. Gets a nice gun run at least, and does actually take that out. So that's at least one good trade for us, as we are losing a lot of ground on this right-hand side. Pulling my AMX-10 back because I see some of his units approaching. Not quite sure where his infantry is. I just want to keep this alive, kind of protect the CV. As we lose another EBG here. Try and move up to Brennis to be able to kill the AMX-10. Unfortunately, we miss our shot. Allows him to smoke off and retreat that. So not the best for us. Over here, the Milan 2 going to be firing at his VAB. Can at least take out another one of those. We know there's not infantry here because they came all on this right-hand side. He just moved the VABs over, so I'm not worried about infantry in my lines here yet. However, I am ordering Grenadier Voltigeur squad just to unload here, kind of clear this out, make sure. Brennis does actually get the kill on the AMX-10 there, but Napalm drops, wipes out my Brennis, my logistics truck, and my Mistral that I had there. And we can see I pull out my Mirage F1C just a little too late there. Not going to be able to catch his plane. So just going to pull this guy back, kind of hover around my side, as he doesn't really have any AA here. What he does have, though, is a command in my corner zone now. So just trying to keep all my vehicles alive, engage the infantry kind of one at a time. End up getting a napalm bomber of my own. So going to use that to try and attack this area now. At least deal with one of these squads. It's another AMX-10 coming down my line now. Moving the supply to resupply this Serblinde so that we can keep him alive. The napalm plane. Gonna try and come in for a strike on those Voltigeurs. At least kills them. However, my CV did get sniped by the AMX-10 right there, as he was able to spot that with the recon. And, well, kind of lost control of our right zone. We're not really looking good elsewhere either, as we just basically have a static line. But knowing all this stuff that he has here, I'm sure he didn't have a lot in the middle. So I am going to start probing with some of my units. I did move up my recon all the way on this left-hand side. I have this one Serblinde that went around the side. Going to try and get in behind him, snipe this reinforcement road so that I can push the middle a bit easier. Another squad of infantry here. Gonna end up going down, trying to save this squad here, as I'm also ordering some commandos, just so that I'll have some better infantry to help kind of clear this out. But overall, trying not to panic, just trying to stabilize my line. I at least have the Serblinde here that's really good at uh, helping me understand if he's trying to bring anything down here. We see that AMX-10 opening up on my T-20 there. Unfortunately, though, don't really react in time there. End up losing that. Get a flamer squad to try and clear out these buildings. My Voltigeurs that I move up do end up killing a VBL Milan there, so that's at least some help. And we spot his other 2 squads of infantry. And this plane I have loitering around just ended up losing fuel, so I replace it with another one. Just sending this guy in. Thankfully, we actually catch a napalm plane as he's coming in. Ends up killing my Voltiger squad, but because we called out this plane in the right amount of time, we end up at least taking out one of his napalm planes. So that's good news for us. A bit here. Get a little overeager with this CV. Have to pull that guy back as we wait for the commandos to kind of clear that out. So just going to keep my Mirage kind of in the air. I ended up buying another one so that I could go ahead and evac the other one so that we have a full missile count here. Just trying to keep my skies clear so that I can push into these zones more effectively without getting bombed. This way I also don't have to buy more AA, as I don't have any AA in this entire zone. Our AMX 30B2 doing a good job of kind of helping to clear this out with the Dragon Paras. But unfortunately an AMX 10 shows up, does end up spotting that and kill it. Serblinde here, spotting some of his reinforcements coming down the middle. End up taking out an AMX 10 hot there. Going for the side shot on this AMX 30B. End up getting a nice shot there. Trying to get the kill. Unfortunately, don't get the second shot. But now I know he knows that we're here. We actually end up spotting his command tank, but gonna move my AMX-10 so that in case he does try and bomb the spot or something, we're at least in a different location. So I end up marking this with a flare, as I kind of want to go for that. And my commandos starting to take at least some ground back. I'm gonna unload these Sappers Flam a little early so that they don't get taken out by the Grenadier Voltigeurs there. And well, sure enough, it was good that we moved because a napalm plane of his ended up hitting the spot where my AMX-10 was. And now that I know this corner is kind of clear, going to move in my CV. I'm going to move in the Sappers Flam into the building there. Also going to move some supply to help heal those guys. So I'm going to drop a napalm where I last saw his tank. And well, I thought I got it. Unfortunately, weren't able to actually kill it. He does bring it back in the zone, as he actually moved it behind the houses during the replay that I watched. And sure enough, there it is. So only did 3 bits of damage there. But we at least know that it's going off to the right now. So that lets me know he doesn't have the CV here. We know he doesn't really have a lot of AA defense, so just sending my Mirage to kill that, try and keep this AMX-10 alive a little bit longer. See, I'm starting to gain some ground back here, as I am forcing him to buy some reinforcements to the center. And sure enough, I spot his 2 commandos trying to come in there. So gonna send both my F1Cs, try and take out these Super Pumas. As we're going to do a lot of damage to each of them. Don't quite find the kills, though. Trying to get one last little gun run there. Do end up killing one of those off. And well, the second Mirage tries to come in and finish the other one. Unfortunately, he does unload the commandos, but we at least do take out the Super Puma there. We also got another kill here with the AMX-10 on this side, as I drop some napalm on that. And well, sure enough, 2 AMX-30Bs show up, take out my AMX-10 in the rear. So now I'm thinking I did a lot of damage here. I need to hurry up and push these guys up, gain as much ground as possible. Also try and save this commando squad here, keep them alive. Unfortunately for me, I forgot about the AMX 30B here. So my Milan 2 kind of gets caught out in the open. And while Milan 2 in the open isn't going to fare too well. But thankfully, it actually does kill the AMX 30B there. We also trade with another AMX 10 here with my Serblende. And then his command tank actually ends up taking out that Milan. Jaguar HE takes out a big too low stack of clumped infantry there. So that's going to let me know I need to go ahead and push this side. And while I got a little too aggressive, I was just kind of pushing those units out in the open there. So end up kind of losing everything that I had set for defense. And while Brennus going to show up kind of at the wrong time, right when I have no recon here, so ends up taking a side shot from an AMX there. Going to have to turn, try and pull that back as we smoked in front of us. Just trying to make sure this guy lives. We are going to get over the hill, though, at least. We did push him out of the right, but he has a pretty strong point lead here, about 800 points. And, well, we've completely lost the middle at this point, so not the best. And well, I lose another VABT-20 there. So now we actually have no AA on the field, so we're relying solely on the Mirage F1Cs there. And, well, it's a little too late to pull my command out, so we end up losing the command vehicle. That's going to put our opponent at a +3 again. So trying to move this command now to go to the center, try and get back in there. It's trying to move up these tanks, do a lot of damage, but I see he puts some infantry in here, so I have to smoke that off, pull him back. We got to wait for a better time to kind of push back up in here. So ordering some logistics now to help kind of repair some of these tanks. I got some Gazelle Hots as well, just because I don't think he's really invested in AA. So maybe we could do some damage with those if we can spot anything. And I'm just kind of repairing some of these infantry squads here for a push into his far right zone, as now I think he's kind of spent a lot of his points in the middle. Maybe I have an opening to get into here. So Gazelle Hot gonna end up firing at a TRM here. Ends up finding a nice kill. And while I see the Super Puma coming in, so I have no AA, have to use my 2 fighters on that. So we definitely don't want commandos landing here. Thankfully, we end up taking that out. And sure enough, we don't get fired upon, so we can start kind of trying to deal with some of his Gazelle Hot 2s. As I do have my P4 PC. I know it's kind of safe here because my AMX has landed. And, well, end up killing a Gazelle Hot. Now we're just going for the Mirage there. Find a kill on one. And, well, going after the next one. Mirage F1C still has a few guns there. Going to be able to take that out. We actually spot his last napalm coming in. Sure enough, it's coming in right from my CV. So I am going to notice that. Try and pull that back. Miss both missiles there. And, well, because the splash damage on that's so high, it actually kills my command. But now we're chasing him down with the Mirages there. End up taking out his last napalm bomber. So I still have both of mine up, and I see both these commandos trying to come in now to fully push me out of the zone. So I'm going to elect to use both my napalm bombers to take out those commandos. So you can see just calling those in one after the other. We have full control of the skies, so I'm leaving my fighters in case he calls out any towards me. And, well, it's going to be both squads of commandos dead there. Completely cleared out that area. We're also clearing out the forest here, getting some recon up so that when all these tanks are healed, I can kind of push over this ridge and recapture that. I'm also ordering some infantry here because I know he still has that chasseur squad right here, so I don't want to push up, especially this AMX-10, because one shot from these LRACs here will kill this AMX-10. So gonna wait till I have infantry there, push up my AMX B2s, clear this out, and then we can really start to put the pressure on again, and make sure he's not sneaking anything behind me to really capture this back zone. So gonna unload an infantry squad there. Using a bomber just to hit this zone, end up killing an escorte PC. Unfortunately, though, I get a little too greedy here. Push up, even though he has all this fire support there. So that's not the best for me. And I did destroy another AMX-30B somewhere around here. Managed to somehow keep this Brennis alive at 1 HP. So gonna pull that back, use some of that supply to heal it up. Here I forgot to evac my Jaguar. Does actually kill his recon though, so that's a good kill. And while we see these chasseurs kind of probing on the edge here. So I also bought another Mistral as well, just in case he does start sending fighters in. This can at least help over the long run in case he keeps them flying around in the air. And I'm kind of moving my other Gazelle Hots around the edges just to make sure there's no enemy recon or no units kind of in this area. But our opponent's still at a +3, still has a very healthy tick here. Trying to pull back some of this infantry to heal it up as our push up into that zone kind of failed. Gazelle Hot there, gonna end up taking out another TRM 2000. And well, finally got the infantry here. So gonna move the infantry up, move up the VABs, and then move up the AMX 30B2s. So you can see all this fire support now. Gonna do a lot of damage to the chasseurs. Even getting some support from the command tank that I've ordered in the rear. At this point, though, we know he doesn't have the napalm bombers anymore, so we don't have to worry too much unless he does have the Jaguar HE. And now we're just going to shift all our forces to the left, try and clear out this forest. As I know he's pretty weak in this area, so I kind of want to capture all of this so that maybe I have a chance to get into his back zone here, as he still had quite a lot of forces on the right-hand side. So you can see just kind of moving the infantry. One of our squads did get routed, unfortunately, and we're trying to move in the command tank in the same area where the last one was. As I'm also pushing up my infantry here, because I know any infantry of his that's spotted in this area can just get fire supported down with all these units that I have. Jaguar HE going for his AMX 30B. He's going to have some fighters, though. Ends up taking that out. I said 2 of my fighters to try and deal with this. Do get 1 of his. And then, well, I still had 1 in reserve. So going to call out the reserve fighter. Try and finish this guy off. As we're going to come around for the second hit there. Actually find the kill. So really nice kill for us. However, he does actually manage to get a CV back in my zone around here. Because I didn't clear this out really. So going to have to start shifting some of these forces for the middle to fully retake control of this. Because that does put him at a +4. Only 3 minutes to victory for him. So instantly going to buy a command tank. So we really need that to get in the zone if we want to have a chance of coming back in this game. We're still going to slowly push on the left-hand side, though. Try and keep our momentum here. But shifting all the infantry I kind of bought for the middle to this side, just so that we can kind of clear this out as quickly as possible. So the Brenn is just going to kind of sit here. I was a little worried he might have some infantry here. So going to just go ahead and scout forward with these guys, move the VABs up as well. Moving the commandos across just to clear out anything here. As I'm also moving some more Brennis that I had in reserve. As instead of pushing across the open now, I'm going to actually capture this area and then try and push kind of through here. So the Vulture is going to get in position, be able to kind of help spot everything here. The AMX 10P kind of hiding there. And well, we're going to end up clearing this objective. Just have to wait for this AMX 30B2 to kind of get in there. On this left-hand side, I got some AA. I still have my 2 AMX 30B2s, but he did have some infantry here, so we're just pulling back this unit here. Gonna bomb that area with napalm, try and help clear it out so that I can move up all these units through there. So napalm at least gonna do some damage to the infantry that was there. Doesn't quite get the kill though. And well, almost 1 minute left till my opponent wins. Thankfully though, CV gonna arrive just in time. As my other napalm was going kind of where his CV was. Unfortunately, did not kill his command. And well, now I decided it's the perfect time to attack. So all these Brennus and infantry that I had here, I'm gonna start trying to push to where I thought his command might be. Do at least stabilize. Our opponent, though, has exactly 1,800 points above us, though. So while I'm pushing here, I'm also pushing this left-hand side. And well, sure enough, we see his command tank retreating. So we do know that's where it was. And well, in the middle, I have all these AMX 30B2s pushing up to kind of help me take control of the zone. Also pushing forward my infantry here to help just spot things, make sure I don't get shot from the rear. As our Brennus here, gonna be able to deal with another AMX 30B. Double Brennus, trying to deal with this B2. Opponent does smoke though, and well, trying to peel this guy back as we don't want our Brennus going down. Unfortunately, this one gets routed. Very unfortunate. But he actually is going to route into the trees there. And while I have infantry in the corner, I can see kind of all his stuff. So now we're going to start pressuring here across the middle to really try and kick him out of the zone. This Mirage here, I'm just going to let fly around since he doesn't really have a lot of AA. Does have the rolling 2 here, but I'm not too concerned with that yet. So we see the 1 Brennus there. Gonna push forward my 2 AMX 30B2s. Try and 2v1 that. Also my B2s here. Gonna be able to deal with another AMX 30B. We can see here the 2 B2s going up against the Brennus. Find 2 really good hits there. Just looking for one last kill shot. Fortunately, that one misses. Second B2 though, gonna be able to find the kill. Still pressuring over here. We do unfortunately trade a B2 for a B2. And well, here we don't want to get Gazelle hot, so gonna have to smoke this guy off, pull him back. And well, starting to move the infantry across, really put the pressure on this command tank. Also got some infantry now that I can start pushing with. And we're just slowly taking ground on the left so that if he does try and get in this corner here, we can really kind of zone him out. So 1 B2 gonna get up there. Fortunately doesn't kill his B, and well, actually gets hit by a hot 2 there. This Brennus was the one that was routed, so he never got to repair, so gonna pull him back for repairs. And well, I got the 1 B2 that's just kind of sitting here with this line of sight. Trying to move forward the infantry though to deal with these AMX 30s before I kind of push them up. The commandos though is having pretty good vision over this area, letting me know what else there. I do also briefly kind of get a foothold on this right hand side, so I'm just trying to force him to keep buying stuff over here while I'm pushing the center. And while I'm still thinking he doesn't really have AA to protect his alouettes, so sending in the double Mirage just to kind of deal with those. Also, this VBL Milan's a bit annoying to me, so I'm deciding to get a Jaguar HE to really take that out. My AMX 30B2, I kind of pushed forward everything at once there. I was able to actually take out his command. So we're going to kind of get our first tick here at a +3. Moving forward my AMX 10 RC now that we took out the VAB Milan. And we're just going to kind of clean up these hots and whatever he has on this little tree line here. I'm also moving across some infantry. Also got some more B2s to kind of follow that up. I did finally bring up some more AA, So these hot twos now going to get taken out by my Mistral and T20 combo. So Mirage 3E there, trying to gun down my commandos. I'm just going to send in a Mirage of my own. We see another command tank of his actually gets in the center, but again, we have a 2v1 situation. And we're going to end up doing a lot of damage there. He is going to smoke off and actually try and retreat. But I already have an AMX-10 in position. It's going to end up killing the Mistral there. And I'm pushing forward these Voltigers, trying to just find the kill on that tank. He does actually prop up 2 B2s there, but I have control of the high ground now. So going to end up killing one of those. He did kill one of my B2s as well. But I'm fine to make that trade at this point, as I have traded pretty positively. But I want to make sure to keep my forces alive for the next push, as we need more than this +3 to be able to win this game. So either we need to push into this back zone, or we got to push into this right-hand zone here. So just sending in some logistics all around to help keep some of these tanks repaired. So I also have some infantry. It's now getting over the crest of the hill there. Gonna try and do some damage with its LRAC. Does at least find the kill on one B2 there. I'm already probing with my infantry just to make sure he can't really get back into the zone. And I'm trying to sneak in this AMX-10 to kill these Roland 2s that I've just spotted, as our LRAC there from our Grenadier Vultures actually ends up killing his command. Napalm going to come in for both of these infantry squads. Actually manages to kill both. And, well, now he doesn't really have anything there. AMX-10 can just clean up these Roland 2s. As we get the first one. And, well, there goes the second Roland. So now I've moved some recon over to this right-hand side because I've got a little small pushing force here. So I kind of moved back up my Brennus. Just start trying to get rid of some of this infantry on the front here. Ordering up some EBGs to kind of push through here, clear out some of that infantry if possible. Both Mistrals there missing on his Mirage. Sending out my one F1C to maybe deal with that. Just kind of maintain air superiority. I don't really want any of his planes being able to fly around. And while I ordered 2 commandos just to kind of unload here and move in these buildings, but I decide, well, I need to be really aggressive because we do need to capture another one of these zones. So I'm eventually going to move these commandos to try and unload this back town area. As we kind of both get hit there. Mirage flies over here. I don't see any AA fire at it, so I'm thinking this is clear. So I'm going to go ahead and send the commandos through. Since nothing really fired at my Mirage, I'm going ahead and pushing forward with AMX-30B2s here to try and gauge what he has here. And, well, unfortunately for me, is a lot of these TRM 2000s, which are just absolutely melting my Puma Pirates trying to unload. As trying to unload this guy, just getting absolutely hammered. And, well, can't get the unload off there, so we end up losing both squads of commandos. Probably should have just unloaded those guys and pushed them individually through. But we do have a lot of VABs and P4s moving up to deal with these armored transports. I also have a fresh squad of Voltigers. The Brennus is still in a nice position. I've moved my Brennuses from this area kind of down here to help with this big push, as my EBGs are almost coming in. I have one more squad of commandos just trying to unload in this area. I'm still scouting over here, but he does have a lot of Milans in this area. So it's looking unlikely that I'm going to be able to push into this back zone. But sure enough, I'm moving everything up because I do need a stronger tick than a +3. So we know that he has all those TRMs there. So just going to try and unload back here instead of sending that guy through to get killed by that. So thankfully, we actually end up getting low enough. We actually kill the TRM with this Brennus. and that's going to allow my commandos to kind of unload there. He does actually get an infantry foothold back here, but I'm not too worried about it. I still have a B2 in a good position here to kind of help hold this hill. See all the infantry I'm now ordering because I'm feeling like I can actually take this. Moving up my command tank from this zone. And while the EBGs are going to go marching in. As we actually spot one of his VABs. So I know that's going for the center point. EBG's at least doing a good job of kind of stunning his infantry down. And while I've got my command in, so that's actually going to put me at a +5 briefly. And well, we're going to actually end up capturing the entire zone. So now going to be at a +7. That's exactly what I need. We know a CV's coming, so I have this tank here to get the shot off. Unfortunately, can't get a shot off in time. So this one's here to get the shot off. Unfortunately, can't get the shot off in time. So I have the bomber coming to bomb this position. Fortunately, our bomber overshoots it, but we do have the vultures ready to get a shot off. And well, we miss. So the B2 here also in position. Finally able to get the kill on that VAB. We're at a +4 all during that time. Puts us back at a +7. This is exactly what we need. I'm actually getting the vulture squad into the back of this zone as well, so that lets me know I can kind of sneak something there. But sure enough, opponent gonna end up surrendering there, as we were actually able to complete the comeback, as we traded pretty great there. Opponent, no slouch either, currently ranked 26 on the ladder. So really, really good player. If we look at the kills and losses, though, we can see my planes did a lot of work dealing with his air force and just his helicopters in general. My napalm found a good amount of kills. The other Mirage dealing with pretty much all his air there. Jaguar HE doing a decent job. Brennis finding a lot of value. Another Mirage F1C getting 2 planes, commandos, and a Super Puma. Just some really solid plays from this AMX-10 from the middle as well. So we got a lot of value from this guy. But overall, I think what won us the game there was just being patient, allowing our opponent to kind of overextend, and then just really putting the foot on the gas there when the time was right to really just push him out and complete the comeback. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this one, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Later, guys.